Hello and welcome to another episode of A Glass with Billy. I actually had a glass of borita that I was drinking a little bit earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna go get that.
We need the glasses, or it's not a glass with Billy.
It's okay. We ordered new glasses. Those will come soon. Today I'm here with my friend
Forrest?
Is that a question?
I don't know.
Forrest is another advanced Korean speaker. I've known him for several years now online. This is actually our first time meeting in person. And today we are at an archery cafe where we actually just finished filming another video. And we did a contest to see whether me and Forrest could defeat a professional. Spoiler alert, we don't. Anyway, you can check out the video and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So then what is it that you are doing in Korea?
So I'm currently going to, Sogang University, and I'm studying psychology, English literature, with a focus on teaching English as a second language or foreign language. My third major is education, but I might not actually finish it, but...
You're doing all this in Korean too?
Yeah.
In Korean?
Some classes are in English, of course, because they're like required, but like it's pretty much half and half.
So then how long have you been studying Korean for? Because you can speak it fluently.
So I started about 7 years ago now, I think.
Okay.
And then, but I only seriously studied for about like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was like to prepare to come to school here and stuff, but then the cups.
Okay, now it is a glass with Billy.
Yes.
Now it kind of sounds funny saying this, but he's actually very well known over a lot of Korean Discord servers. He is, I would say, a Discord online Korean teacher?
Kind, I guess.
Kind of.
I help a lot of people if they have Korean questions, or especially what I do help people with is if they have questions about like coming to Korea or like attending school here and stuff. So I usually answer a lot of those questions as well.
That's right. Yeah, he knows a lot about, the process involved.
Yeah, visa stuff.
All of the difficult stuff you don't want to think about when you're trying to plan to go to Korea. Today we're actually going to be talking about something that he also knows quite a lot about, and that is the TOPIK test. So then the question today we have is, TOPIK or not TOPIK? So first of all, although a lot of people already know this, what is the TOPIK test?
So TOPIK test is basically a test that people will take so they can either get a job in Korea or go to school especially. Another reason some people might take it is to just see where about their Korean level is.
So you're preparing to take the TOPIK right now, actually.
Again, I have to take it.
Again?
For grad school.
For grad school, you have to take it again. And what's your goal? Do you have
either 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I personally don't really like studying for tests, especially these types of tests. Korean to me is not really something that I study to pass. It deals with my major, and I'm really passionate about my major.
Your major again is?
Psychology. English literature, but teaching English basically.
Okay.
Which we have to kind of sometimes teach in Korean. But for grad school, if I want certain scholarships and stuff, that's a really good reason to take it. The higher your score, the more opportunity you have for scholarships.
Okay.
So.
I come from a different spot. I have never taken the TOPIK before. I actually originally planned to take the TOPIK test back in 2013. So I purchased 2 very big TOPIK books, very, very nice and expensive.
Very big.
Yeah, something like that. And the very next year was actually when they split the TOPIK test and they rearranged it. So since they switched it, the materials that I'd purchased became useless. I never ended up taking it.
Yeah.
And,
also to point out is that they are adding a speaking section now.
They're adding a speaking section?
Yeah, hopefully by next year. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
And for preparation for the TOPIK is typically taking lots of TOPIK practice tests.
Right. Yeah, you take a lot of practice tests and then you want to practice different types of essay questions because you don't have much time to write. You only get 50 or 60 minutes for the writing section, so that's not much time to write an entire essay on a topic you're not super familiar with. So yeah.
For me, the main reason that I wanted to take the TOPIK in the first place was just kind of to show myself that, I can actually speak Korean. But then when I started doing YouTube, people could see that through my videos. There isn't really a need, therefore, for me to have it. So I don't know, but I'll never say never. I might take it someday.
Yeah, I think taking it just kind of for fun without studying for the test itself, it's just a decent way to kind of gauge where you're at. Because if you take TOPIK 2, which is for levels 3 to 6, right? That's a lot of Korean, basically.
Yes.
So if that can help you kind of see where you're at in terms of intermediate to advanced, or even if you're still beginner too, like because you cannot pass the TOPIK too if you don't get enough points. So I really suggest to people to, if they're not trying to get into a university or a job, then actually taking the test just without studying for it and just
doing it kind of like for fun.
Yeah, like for fun and just going in with what you know. You can actually learn a lot from the test as well. Like every time I would take the test, because I've actually never studied for the test specifically, I actually always learn something from the test. Like I learned new words or like even new grammar sometimes, and I was like, oh right, there's this thing. Like it kind of helps you remember a lot of stuff as well.
Then you think that even if you didn't have to take the TOPIK test, you probably still would take the TOPIK test?
Yeah, I'd probably just take it like once or like every 2 years or something to maintain, the score, because it expires after 2 years.
That's something else to keep in mind, is that the TOPIK score, and I didn't know this, but the TOPIK score only lasts officially for 2 years. So if you've taken the TOPIK and say you passed and you get a 3, well, that is only a level 3 for 2 years. After that, it's no longer considered valid.
Each time it varies in difficulty. Each section changes. One section is easier than the other. Things like that. It's always something you should kind of keep in the back of your mind if you're thinking about living in Korea, especially. It's really useful to take.
So then that leads us to the pros of taking the TOPIK. Well, you might need it to live in Korea or work in Korea, depending what you're trying to do. Forrest also already mentioned how you might just want to take it for fun, just kind of to see where you're at, or even to learn new things.
I've actually seen some like non-native Korean teachers, like on italki and stuff, and like a lot of them will actually teach TOPIK. For TOPIK, a lot of it is actually knowing how to take the test rather than knowing Korean.
Okay, well that already brings us to our cons about TOPIK. TOPIK is, sometimes it's more about just the test than it is about actually using Korean. And why is that? All
of the questions and like the essay prompts and stuff, it's mostly geared towards, academic type of Korean language, and it's pretty much all stuff you would see mostly like in writing,
or on the TOPIK test.
Yeah, or on the TOPIK test. The stuff that comes up on the TOPIK test is like not actually very useful for like anyone that has the goal of just wanting to like speak with their friends or things like that.
That's fair. I remember I took a practice TOPIK test just for fun. Several of the questions, they actually made up words, because I remember the first time that I tried looking at one of the TOPIK sheets and seeing a fake word, I was like searching in the dictionary, and
it's not coming.
Yeah, and I finally searched it on Google, and I like, oh, I found it, and it was just a transcript of the test that I was taking. So yeah, that's an obvious con to taking the test. What else? What else is not good about the TOPIK test?
It can be really demotivating, actually. This happens with pretty much any language test. Like people will just study for the test specifically, not with like the motivation to just communicate. Studying specifically for the test will definitely, in most cases, probably make you less motivated to study. It gets boring.
Okay, wow. To add on to that, I was not personally, but I've heard many stories of people who know other people who have passed level 5, level 6 of the TOPIK, but cannot speak Korean.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of related to that also is that in some ways it's not really a test of how well you can speak Korean, or even a test of how much Korean, random vocabulary you know. It's more of a test of how well you can take the TOPIK test.
Well, that, and the only thing it really gauges, I guess, if I have to think about it, is it only gauges like your understanding. Because even for the writing section, like I've seen the way people will write, some actually just memorize the essay. So besides those people, the ones that actually try to write out what they want to say, like you have very limited time to take in anything. A lot of people actually do really bad on the test, but then be good at Korean, actually.
That could be fair. Like if I'm rushed to find an answer, I could get the wrong answer. Whereas in real life, if someone shows me a graph and asks me what I think, they're not going to start a 30-second timer. We can discuss and talk about it.
You have your own time. You can take your time to discuss stuff in real life, but with the tests, it's pretty difficult to, so there's that aspect. Another pro, I guess, that I can think of is that actually like it can be decent for your vocabulary, I think. There'll be like a lot of difficult words that come up on the TOPIK, but there's actually like a lot of them that are seen pretty frequently, like in general. Like if you're gonna read some like formal type of sign or any sort of like announcement like that, like actually knowing words that come out in TOPIK will be good. Plus it shows you like in context as well.
Right,
It's
right.
in a sentence actually, so yeah, it can be like a somewhat decent way to just improve your vocabulary and just kind of see where you are as well in terms of vocab.
So then we've talked about pros and cons of taking the TOPIK test. Then I guess, what does the TOPIK test mean to you?
What does it mean to me?
Right.
I guess to me it means scholarship money.
Okay.
I don't know, it's just like a way to challenge myself as well because I'm not a very good test taker either. But with TOPIK, there's tons of different topics that they go over in different sort of fields that I'm not familiar with, even in English. Like if you were to talk to me about economics, I would not really have much to say. So that's like fun to me, but it's something I need to do for school.
For me, the TOPIK right now is doesn't have any meaning, but who knows, maybe in the future I will also take it as well.
So when you're really bored.
When I'm really bored, pretty much, that's a good way to say it. Okay, so then let's say you've just taken the TOPIK test and you get your score and it's lower than you thought.
I wouldn't take it like the score seriously. It all depends on like if you studied for it or if you didn't study for it especially. So if you didn't study for it and you just took it for fun, right? It might be a little bit more accurate, give you a better idea of where you're at. But if you study for it, it might be a little flawed.
Okay, I guess that's a good point. If you're studying for the test, you're going to do better on the test.
Definitely don't take it seriously because it's just two different sides of the Korean language. It's basically academic language versus just daily language, right? But it's still definitely, I think, a decent test to just take if depending on your circumstances.
So then you would recommend people, if they have an opportunity, if they're interested in, just try it. If you don't even want to register for the test, you can actually just go to TOPIK's website and they have past year's tests.
And you can just take that and that can even give you an idea.
Yeah, they have the audio files there. You can listen to it. You can sit down at your desk, take a test at home if you want.
You just can't get the writing section graded.
But yeah, anyway, it's good talking with you. I didn't know a lot about the TOPIK because I've never taken it. So you're the first person I've ever actually talked about the TOPIK with. So yeah, again, thank you for joining us. It's been Forrest, and I'll see you again next time. 그럼?
It's like,
You're like,
when's the...
all right there. 1, 2, 3. 그럼?
다음에
1, 2, 3. 그럼?
다음에
또. What are you like?
I don't know
You're like,
the rhythm.
what are you doing? Like,
what?
1, 2, 3. 그럼?
그럼
다음에
다음에
또
또
봐. That's as good as we're gonna get.
You say it way more than I do.